Hey everybody, it's Mr. XStitch. I'm back. Weekly vlog number 12. Hat on, got a top on. Probably should be wearing more thermals. Have had discussions with the wife about putting the heating on. Still not got full permission. She's not a tyrant. I'm sure I can have the heating on for 5 minutes a day. As long as the smart meter doesn't show that there's any money spent. It's fine. How are you, my friends? It's nice to see you. I've got a cold. I've got through the worst of it. Had a couple of sketchy nights. Had quite a nice combination, if you like, the other night where Annie, my youngest, she's 3, she had a temperature on the same night that I was feeling very, very cold indeed. So it kind of worked out because she got into bed with me and I was able to cuddle her like an extremely hot water bottle. Bless her. We've got two. So there's Flora and there's Annie, and Flora's pretty robust on the whole, and Annie's a bit more likely to get colds and those sorts of things. But then Flora tends to trip over stuff, even flat surfaces, whereas Annie's very nimble. So I guess, you win some, you lose some, right? Anyway, my cold is okay now, and I'm able to work, and a bit sniffly, hot on the strepsils, had a couple of baroccas over the past few days, get the vitamins and all that sort of stuff. Been out with the dog for a walk to get sunlight. I don't know. It's doing the rounds, you know what I mean? Like, there's no way of getting rid of it. Everybody has it. So, have you had it? Let me know in the comments. Why don't you? Black Friday is coming soon, and it's interesting time to think about when you're someone who has a product to sell and stuff like that. I think a lot of the time it feels like there's a bit of a chase to the bottom for some of these things. It's like I look at my competitors, the people selling cross-stitch magazines. I mean, there's only like 2 competitors now, both big companies, both advertising engines. They always seem to be on a bit of a race to the bottom. Can they sell you a subscription where you pay £3 for an issue, or can they give you a free package on the front, a bit like kids magazines? Oh, look, there's a thing to play with on the front. And is that a way of getting around what's on the inside of it? It just seems odd that there should be this need to make things as cheap as possible. I understand the value in that, but I don't understand the business practice in that, which is why I've set my magazine at £12 an issue. And yes, we're quarterly, so life is a lot easier because that's a quarterly expense, and people can pay £10 a quarter if they buy it. Subscribe, links in the show notes. But I've always been like, why do we have to sell ourselves short? For many designer makers, I think the amount of money that you have spare can be quite lean. It's the same with me. A lot of the time I'm waiting for money to come in so that I can pay other people. I don't have the throughput of income that I might like right now, despite having the most kick-ass cross-stitch magazine on the planet. So it always takes a bit of time, and I don't necessarily feel like when Black Friday comes around, I'd like to tap into the zeitgeist and the excitement about buying stuff, but I don't necessarily want to have to do a race to the bottom the same as everybody else does. So there's a few email marketing newsletters that I sign up for. There's some good ones. There's the Steel Club. There's one called Marketing Heroes, I think. And something popped out at me the other week, which I thought was quite interesting. So I'm applying this strategy for Black Friday, and it goes like this. On the 23rd of November, 2 days before Black Friday, for one day only, there will be a 40% discount on everything, print copies, digital copies in the store. On the 24th of November, there will be a 20% discount, so that's less than the discount on the 23rd of November. Again, digital issues, print issues. On the 25th of November, Black Friday, prices go back to normal. So I'm going to experiment and see whether that makes any difference or not, because it's a temporary discount. I don't feel like I'm going through the process of Black Friday and Cyber Monday and all those sorts of things. But at the same time, there's an opportunity for people to get ahead of the game and save a few bucks if they want. So we'll see what happens. It's an experiment, because I think last Black Friday I completely forgot to do anything. The time before that I probably tried to do something. I can't work out whether it's a good thing or not. And in this day and age, I'm not convinced that Black Friday is really a viable thing. I mean, do people really have any spare money for anything anymore? Some do. Lots of people don't. I'm not going to go into that right now. But that's my plan. There's a lot going on at XStitch Towers at the moment. I'm currently working on the calendar and the special edition magazine to go alongside the calendar for the successful Kickstarter campaign. So that's coming along nicely. 12 patterns with a limited palette of 12 colours, which are available from Love Crafts Threads. You'll see some of them back here. So that's coming along, and there's just lots of pieces of work to be involved in doing that. But I've done calendars before, and the special edition magazine will come out with charts in 2 formats and a kind of mini interviews with the designers as well. So hopefully that'll be a nice little touch. At the same time, I'm also having to work on the next mixtape issue, which comes out on the 7th of December and is guest edited by Melorize, and it's going to be awesome. It's really interesting working with somebody else as well, because Melorize is a very talented graphic designer. She's a very good project manager. She's got very good at systems thinking. And so it's great working with her because it's very exciting. I feel rejuvenated creatively by working with her. But also she's going to help me refine processes and help me tweak things to make them work even better. And I'm hoping that somewhere down the line, benevolent supporters will kick in, and I'll be able to afford Melorize to come and work with me all the time. I have a dream team of people I want to work with. I've got Selena, who works with me now. She's part of my dream team. Melorize is part of my dream team. Lord Libidan, I'm looking at you, my friend. Also part of my dream team. And that's all I need. Just need them 4 people working with me all the time. Take over the world. So we will. But yeah, it's interesting working with other people and seeing, you know, the things I'm doing right and the things I could do differently and all those sorts of things. So I'm hoping that Melorize will be able to help me work out the best approaches there. So I've got the mixtape and I've got the calendar, and then I'm also working on XStitch Along 005, which will start at the start of 2023 and will soon be available to pre-order. The design is called Morning Walk, and it's a 9-part exercise in mindfulness. I'm quite pleased with the way the pattern's developed, and I'm just putting the finishing touches to it, and kind of it's very much along the, you know, the goodness of having a walk in nature. It's kind of, it is about that and it isn't about that, but that's kind of how I'm theming it. You know, let's get some mindfulness on. After the last one, Life in the Fast Lane, link in the show notes, which was a kind of groovy 70s 12-part car kind of thing. This is something, it's bigger, but it's more relaxed, and I think it's more just about sinking into it and the feel-good vibes and stuff. So that will be available for pre-order very soon as well, so keep your eyes peeled on that. And if you haven't signed up to my newsletter, sign up to my newsletter in the notes below, because that's where you'll find out about it first. And also, if you're listening to this and you have a crafty business, when you sign up for the newsletter, hit the preference that says you want to be one of my business homies as well, and then that way you can tap into my monthly newsletter where we, I don't know, talk about what it's like to have a crafty business, try and make sense of it all, really. So yeah, there's plenty going on. Still a bit snotty, but I've got a dozen strepsils, and I think that hopefully I'll be in better shape next week. Probably still a bit hairy, probably still a bit hatty, but anyway, thanks for being there, folks. Let me know what you've been up to. Tell me everything that's been going on, because it's been too long, and I'll see you next week. Take care. Bye.